Mr. Transformers 96 here with another video talking about some new items shown at Toy Fair New York 2018. In this video, I'm going to be talking about the production, images of the Transformers Studio Series line. They've shown 4 from their first wave of deluxe figures. They've shown more at the actual event, and I will make a separate video talking about the figures that are actually there. However, this video is just for the stock images of those characters. So none of these characters are new. All of the characters that were shown were leaked beforehand, at least their name, and in some cases some very blurry images. However, we do have the official images now for a few of them. Starting off here with Crowbar, this is definitely one of the figures I'm most anticipating. Crowbar is a character that I really love the design for in Dark of the Moon. Unfortunately, never made a figure for, and yeah, now we're finally going to get it, which I couldn't be any happier about. Overall, I think it looks great. I like the head sculpt quite a bit. It's Crowbar's look was very similar to Crankcase. We did get a Crankcase figure, and therefore you had something similar to Crowbar, but the main difference between the two is the head sculpts. And now, as you can see, we do have a completely new head sculpt that does more capture Crowbar instead of Crankcase, which looks great. He does have his dread pieces hanging off the back, and even some at the sides that are very long. This is a retool of the Berserker figure from the Last Night figure line. So you can see some similarities there, particularly the torso, the thighs, and then the upper arms. I believe the lower arms do look like they're pretty new. There might be a few little pieces that have been resculpted. He does come with the same weapons that the Berserker figure came with. Those are accurate though, because Berserker never used them, but Crankcase did, so that does work out quite nicely. The paint is the only thing I'm not a big fan of on this figure. He uses different shades of gray, essentially, which isn't accurate. In the movie it's a lot of black and silver, so definitely not accurate. I did take that Berserker figure and repaint it into a proper Crankcase, design, so it was black, silver with, some weathered pieces to it. So I'm going to do the exact same thing with this one. Cannot wait to get this figure. Probably going to buy 2 of them and repaint one to really make it accurate to Crowbar's design in the film. He does transform into the standard kind of SUV that he does in Dark of the Moon. As you can see, the dreads kind of stick out of the back, which is, a little... what you're going to do, it doesn't really fit, but, it makes sense. You need the dreads to go somewhere when it transforms, so I'd much rather have the dreads and have them look awkward in robot mode rather than not have them all. Then we have Stinner. Stinner is a figure that was just shocking that we didn't get from Age of Extinction, considering he is just a repaint of Bumblebee, but we didn't get him, so now they're doing him, and they've done a new sculpt, which is interesting. I like the sculpt. I like the way that the torso seems to be put together. It's odd though. It doesn't necessarily scream Stinner. I think had they just repainted Bumblebee, it would have been a much more accurate look. But I'm enjoying this look. I don't know why. It's not 100% accurate, but it's kind of neat. It's kind of got this bulky bulk to it, especially in the torso area, which I'm just kind of digging for some reason. So I kind of like this. I'm not a big fan of Stinner, but I do like the design, and we obviously never got the a figure of him from his movie, so I am very happy that we're getting it now. As you can see on his right arm, he does feature that kind of lower arm cannon, which is cool, and he does have the head sculpt with the mask down, and then he has those little kind of blades on the shoulders there. Looking quite nice though, I do like him. And then he turns into that, I don't even remember what the car is called. It starts with the P, but it's a very unique type of car. I absolutely love the design of it, and as you can see, you do have a really nice look there. Then we have Ratchet. This is disappointing. This is just as one of the worst Ratchets I've seen them make. I don't know. It's incredibly bright neon, which to some degree is accurate, but it's a little too bright. It just looks very simplistic. The arms don't look like there's much going on there. The backpack hangs over super far. I almost feel like they didn't fully transform it for the picture or something, because I can't imagine the backpack really hangs that far down. It looks awful. The blade on his arm, that looks cool, but the rest of the figure just looks like trash. And we've had so many other Ratchets, it's like I don't really understand why this one looks so bad, because there's been plenty of other deluxe Ratchets that are really nice, and I have them, so it's weird that they would take a step back. I definitely won't be picking up that one. Then we have another Bumblebee. I believe this is kind of more of his movie 1 look. He looked pretty nice to some degree. He looks like your standard deluxe Bumblebee that we've seen a million times. There's some nice detail in there as far as some of the mechanics at his lower torso and the biceps. However, for the most part, it's another Bumblebee, so it's an okay design, but it's just it's not one that I'm I'm loving. As you can see with this new series, you will be able to kind of use the box and almost transform the box, if you will, to make a little like a kind of display, get a whole backdrop for it and a little base. I like that quite a bit. You know, I don't know how many people actually utilize it, but I think it's a nice design that you're able to do that with it. I think that I'd certainly see myself displaying some of these characters with their boxes fully, you know, made up into the backdrop. So I like that quite a bit. Then we have some in-package images of these characters. Here's Crowbar in-package, get some great artwork on the side there. Ratchet in-package, again, nice artwork. Stinner, good artwork as well. And then Bumblebee, we don't have the shot of him in his artwork. But as you can see, this is the 1, 2, and 3, 1, 2, 3, and 4th figure in the first wave of the deluxe figures from this new series. I'm loving this new series. You know, it's kind of, they're not like masterpiece quality by any means. They're kind of standard, you know, Hasbro wave quality. However, they're just going back and doing the figures that need an update and or never were made. So I couldn't be any happier about this. I'm very excited by some of the stuff that was shown that's just on display right now. So I will be making a separate video talking about that, including there's some Blackouts on display, which looks great. Also Lockdown, first time we're seeing him, which is incredibly exciting. So there's a lot to talk about. Really excited for this new line. Definitely plan to pick up a lot of these figures, particularly the Decepticons, because I definitely am much more of a Decepticon fan than Autobot. So yeah, so let me know what you guys think of these 4 figures, and stay tuned for my next video where I talk about the other figures that have been put up. And thanks so much for watching.